A great way to set yourself up for success in an interview is to come prepared. Have a few questions planned out ahead of time, research the company that you are interviewing with, and make sure you understand something about the position. Professional dress is important for all interviews, whether they're on campus or in an employer's office. It's also important to make sure that you greet your interviewer with a firm handshake and start out by addressing them as Mr. or Ms. until they tell you to use their first name.
Hi, Mr. Bartok. I'm Katie Durr.
Katie, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too.
And please call me Pete. In a lot of interviews, you'll have a chance to talk a little bit about yourself right at the start of the interview. It's always good to make sure that you talk a little bit about yourself, but also to bring it back to the job that you're applying for. So Katie, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I don't really know. I'm not that exciting, but I really like to shop. I guess I like sports too, but my parents say I need a job, but I really don't want to work. So, other than that, that's pretty much it.
Make sure you don't swivel in your chair, don't play with your hair, don't chew gum, and maintain good eye contact throughout the interview. So Katie, tell me a little bit about yourself.
Well, I'm a senior majoring in business administration, and my internship last summer really gave me an appreciation for the business world. And I'm more excited than ever to have the chance to work for your company.
Katie, describe for me a time when you made a significant contribution to a team effort.
In my internship last summer, we were supposed to give a presentation to a client, and they actually asked me, hold on one second. Mom? Mom, I'm in an interview, why are you calling? No, I can't talk right now. I'll call you back, just 5 minutes.
As excited as you may be to talk to your mom, it's probably not a good time to do it in the middle of an interview. Make sure that your cell phone is turned off and that you're fully focused on the interview at hand. Katie, tell me about a time when you experienced conflict with another person. What was the situation, what did you do, and how did it turn out?
Well, we had this one project in a business class, and someone really wasn't pulling his weight. And we were all talking about him behind his back, and he just wasn't living up to the expectations. And I thought another teammate was going to go talk to him, but she didn't want to. She didn't want any drama. So we just kind of let it alone, and I was going to talk to the professor, but I didn't want to be a tattletale. So we ended up just putting his name on the paper and got a C.
A question about dealing with conflict is a very common question to be asked in an interview. It's always important to make sure that you have a positive resolution and really show the interviewer that you took a leadership role in dealing with that conflict.
One time in a business class, we had a team project and someone wasn't pulling his weight, and we were getting sidetracked, so I met separately with that individual and we outlined a schedule for the rest of the project, and he was able to fill his responsibilities on time, and we actually ended up getting an A- on the project.
Katie, tell me about one of the most difficult decisions you've ever had to make.
Well, first semester, it was a Thursday night, and a couple of my sorority sisters came over and wanted to go out, and I was at a dilemma because I had a huge test the next morning. And you know what? I figured, well, I can always redo a class, but I can never redo college. So we ended up going out, and we stayed out till about midnight, and I really wasn't prepared for the test, but what can you do?
While you're giving your answers, it's important to demonstrate to the interviewer that you've been able to prioritize and show that you've been able to manage multiple tasks, all while making good decisions. Katie, tell me one of the most difficult decisions you've ever had to make.
Okay, well, in my sophomore year, I was involved in a lot of campus activities. A sorority, student government, I tutored inner city children, and played club lacrosse. And although my grades were okay, they weren't the best during the first period, so I ultimately decided to drop one of the activities.
Katie, tell me a little bit about a situation where you were able to persuade someone to do something that they really didn't want to do.
Okay, well, in my junior year, I had a friend who wasn't 21, but she looked exactly like my roommate. And so I said, you know what, just use my roommate's ID, let's go out for happy hour at this bar, Never Cards. And so we ended up going out, she got in just fine, and we had an absolute blast.
Be sure to stay away from answers that are controversial, overly personal, or in this case, illegal. Well, Katie, thank you so much for meeting with me today. I really appreciate it. You gave me some great answers, and we'll definitely get in touch with you again soon.
Thank you, Pete. It was great meeting you too.